Howdy folks, Tetsu here, down in lower tiers where the power is low, but the battles are fierce. And today I'll be continuing my self-proclaimed quest to archive all the battles during the first 7U tournament, which thereby I hope to bring light to the tier and possibly help it grow. So join me as we move on to the 19th match of round 2. Our combatants this time will be VTMagno against CDI-JK16. While VTMagno is a new face, CDI-JK16 faced off against Dracul Mihawk, whose name is so fun to say, in the first round, coming out on top with a 2-1 victory. Regardless, both their skills shall be witnessed here today by both myself and you the viewer. If you happen to enjoy the video, I humbly request you click that like button. Also subscribe and click that bell if you want to be notified for later uploads. Working together, we can bring more attention to this fascinating metagame. With all that said, let's begin. Okay, match 19, game 1. Let's play lead metagame. VTMagno sending Voltorb Tentacool from CDI-JK21. Predictable. Rhyhorn switch. Thunderwave coming in. It is immune to Rhyhorn. Shelter gets body slammed upon switch in, and Rhyhorn gets taken out. Not taken out, but switched out with Ivysaur. Blizzard misses. Sleep Powder misses as Charmeleon comes in, and Fire Spin is sent on the Shelter from CD. Ivysaur now also in. And Charmeleon gets put to sleep. VTMagno is the first one to get sleep this time. A bit of switching going on for Tentacool. CDI-JK sending their Tentacool out and then Shelter. But now VTMagno can just leisurely start wrapping it into oblivion, considering that Shelter is quite slow. Granted, Shelter does have a decent defensive stat. So there is that. Voltorb is now in, however. And, yeah! The prediction, the baiting of Rhyhorn coming out. Razor Leaf hits the incoming Ivysaur from CD. Body Slam hits, no paralysis. And VTMagno's Ivysaur is put to sleep. Charmeleon is now in. Slash coming out from CD's Meowth. Charmeleon goes for counter and takes out Meowth. Rhyhorn is now in. Does Earthquake onto Shelter. Quick switch to their own Shelter as Boom goes off from VTMagno. Shelter, CD Shelter on 3% and taken out by Surf from VT's Tentacool. Attempt at Wrap, but it does not go well. And Ivysaur body slams and paralyzes Tentacool. But Tentacool uses Blizzard to take Ivysaur out in retaliation. And the substitute, the paralysis! Rhyhorn is able to keep the sub. Ivysaur is asleep. It needs to wake up. It needs to wake up. Or Rhyhorn is just going to tear through VTMagno's team. And it does not. Okay, Meowth coming in. Bubble Beam does take the sub out. But Meowth gets a ton of damage, and Bubble Beam's not going to finish it. No, it does not. Oh, Christ. Meowth is taken out by Rhyhorn. Charmeleon from VTMagno goes into CD's switched-in Charmeleon, who is asleep. Sorry, my English is failing me. And eventually takes it out. It does not wake up, unfortunately. Tentacool comes in. Fire Spin misses, and Surf takes out Charmeleon. That was really VT's only hope. Okay. Alright. That was exciting. On to game 2. Let's play late metagame. Tentacool coming from Magno and Charmeleon from CDI-JK21. Blizzard goes into the incoming Tentacool and the rap battle begins. Do we see a switch in the next couple of turns? We will have to see. Since, it's either that... Oh, well, CD was able to actually outspeed this time after the wrap. Ivysaur coming in from VTMagno. And Rhyhorn? Ooh, that's a bit risky. Ivysaur from CD. Ivysaur from Magno. And Magnos is put to sleep. Charmeleon being swapped in as Ivysaur goes for Swords Dance, and Slash comes in instead of Fire Blast. That is cool. Fire Blast does miss on the second attempt. Tentacool comes in for both players, and now they're beginning their wrap. VTMagno's having taken Hydro Pump on the switch in. Magno winds up missing their wrap, and a critical from CD onto Ivysaur. To Tentacool, as Magno switches to their sleeping Ivysaur. Charmeleon coming in, and the bait. Earthquake goes into incoming Ivysaur from CD. Razor Leaf hits Charmeleon. CD switches to their own Charmeleon. Critical hit slash. Shelter gets hit with counter on the switch and gets taken out. Oh! Rhyhorn once again for Magno, and it takes out Charmeleon, as I'm assuming it was going for a counter since it outsped. Tentacool from CD manages to take out the sleeping Ivysaur, and Magno sends in their Meowth to finish off Tentacool. Voltorb in now, and are we going to see... No, it was not! It was not Voltorb! Well played by Magno. They sent out their Charmeleon instead. Very well played. But Charmeleon is going to be taken out by CD's Meowth, and both players are now in the speed tie game. Who will win? And it is CD. CD has won the speed tie, and now, well, this isn't over yet. Not by a long shot. Oh, well. Why Tentacool? Why Tentacool? Well, to be fair, Mega Drain probably would have taken it out. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it might have. But at any rate, yeah, that was basically what was going to happen. All right, well, ooh, that was actually pretty high. That was pretty intense. Okay, well done.
So, what did we learn? Down in 7U, Meowth is the number one threat in the tier. That said, there are several mons that can stand up to it in a one-on-one. We'll be talking about Charmeleon this time, mainly because of this moment when Meowth hit with Slash and got one-shot by counter. Very well timed move on VTMagno's part. Good job. So is Counter Charm's only way to deal with Meowth? That's pretty unreliable, right? If that were the only way, yes. For that to happen, Slash would need to bring Charmeleon's health down to 55% minimum. You can fix your defense DVs to 6 and guarantee the KO, but that does raise the chance of being taken out by Rhyhorn's Earthquake, going from a 10.3% to a 71.8% chance to be OHKO'd by the attack, so I wouldn't really recommend that. Not only that, but Meowth would actually have to use Slash. Considering we've seen players using Bubble Beam on occasions, that's not a guarantee. So what else can it do in the matchup? Charm could go the physical route. Sporting a base attack of 64 lends to its own Slash being a 69.5% chance to 2-hit KO. Not a guarantee, but okay odds. The real power is in Stab Fire Blast, backed by a base special of 65, dealing between 58.6 to 68.2% damage, which does guarantee a 2-hit KO. Plus, if the first blast brings Meowth to 46% or below HP, it can go for the far more accurate Slash to pick up the KO. Technically, you can get the KO at 47, but only if Meowth HP is 132. Any higher and it's not a guarantee. All of this leads to Charmeleon being pretty good against the top cat of the tier. There is a caveat to this though. Where Meowth is usually sitting in the back, only being brought out when it can safely pick up an easy revenge kill, Charm is usually in the thick of things, firing off attacks and pivoting out. This normally means that Charmeleon will be a bit banged up when facing Meowth. The cat is a threat for a reason. While a full health Charm can tank 2 slashes no problem, any damage that the lizard has accumulated over the course of the game adds up. Always remember that Meowth is faster, so be mindful of Charm's HP when considering to commit to the fight. PowerPoint, or PP for short, stalling is a tactic used to lower the amount of uses for an opponent's move. In 7U, this normally is done against Wrap, although this seems more like trying to force a miss than anything else. We'll need more data to be sure. Regardless, such a tactic has drawbacks. I've touched on this before, but depending on the mon out when the trapper misses, could lead to a bad situation. A prime example is Rhyhorn being switched to take a Wrap. The move off Tent's poultry attack is merely a tickle, yet a miss opens up either Rhyhorn being sacked or its switch switch in, taking unwanted damage. That said, we've seen it used as a chance opportunity. In cases when Ivy is the Mon currently in, we have seen if Ivy tanks the faster Mon's next hit, this moment used to go for sleep. It's certainly risky, but depending on your long-term game plan, might be worth it. Moving away from one fascinating meta topic to another, counter-trapping. A method which you can force an opponent's hand to make a mistake by using a Mon with counter. So far in these early rounds, 4 Mons come to mind. Charmeleon, obviously, Clefairy, Hitmonchan, and finally Cubone. Counter-trapping begins with when either a Mon with counter is switched into a normal/fighting attack, or a Mon is taken out and its replacement has the move. Those scenarios force the opponent, depending on the game state and knowledge they currently have on your loadout, to make a decision. Do they play around counter, risk the Mon doing something else if they do, switch to another Mon to either take the hit or take the non-counter hit? So many possibilities, I love it. With the match over, CDIJK16 will be heading on and continuing to the WB, while VTMagno, with their first elimination, will be heading down to the LB. We'll be catching up with them later again, I'm sure. And if you happen to have found the video interesting, why not join in on the fun? I've got all the necessary links down in the description. I hope to see you there. Until next time, everybody, take care.